regardless how I was approached with this information. But as you can see, now I'm explaining in this video how the Saudi house or the Saudi government, Bin Salman, is working with the Home Office against me. Okay, working even with the West against me, against Mr. Refugee. Unlike the other opposition against the Saudi House, who are used even by the West to blackmail the Saudi House, and others are taking advantage in countries like Iran, for example, Iranian government, without going to details. Someone calling himself Shiite after war in Iraq, as Bremer said, we prefer the Shiite, not the Sunnis, though the Shiite are intruders, not natives. Tehran is taking advantage and putting all sorts of accusation against the Saudi government. Such opposition used and until now, basically. Let's do an investigation. Let's study things since the 80s, for example. In general, not only about those who call themselves Shiite, about those women who are calling themselves Hijazis and coming and complaining in the United States of America, whether they have double nationality or coming and applying for a political asylum in the other states of the West, or males who are ex-Muslim who want to change Saudi Arabia, who are not natives, who are descended from it, illegal immigrant who settles in what's called Saudi Arabia territory, and with time, after adjusting, they want the change that is suitable for their culture, that belongs to their original nation, which the West found is more suitable to deal with, for example, a nice Pakistani woman rather than a native Bedouin woman. Now, let's not talk about the model sister of mine who was prostitutes and seduced and raped. That's another story. So these are always welcomed and protected. I mean, look at this Raif Badawi. He was not brave, no, or Nimr, no, or the so-called Shiite opposition and intruders who are descended from illegal immigrant in Bahrain against the legitimate ruler Ibn Khalifa. I am from Ibn Fazir, by the way. Not your business whether the Arabian Peninsula and its native Bedouin territory need to get rid of these houses. It's not your business. We're part of that social structure. We are a result to a historical uh, waves, motivation, conflicts even. And these houses emerged as the chosen leading house. Saud House are occupying us. It's not your business. It's not, you go back. لا ترمي بالك علي. You go back. It's enough what we dealt with at the time of Ataturk after the fall of the Turk. على راسك ريشة أنت علشان تيجي تسلط علي عنصري. Everyone in his place. You want to go and deal with the West against me? I want to deal with the West against you as well. But the West, of course, gonna choose you on me because you're more suitable. You are ready to sell the land. You are ready to lie about the history. You are ready to even adjust in a Western way on the expanse or at the expanse of the natives. What worse racism we're dealing with? So you're welcoming everyone. But Tariq al-Fajir, no, he needs to be sent back. Especially when we talk about the change that's taking place in Saudi Arabia after all these decades, and I have explained enough, but this is not my point. My point is the Home Office did three attempts of removing me. Morton Hall Removal Center, I am here in this country since 2015. It's a clear case that this man is escaping a brutal persecution. Clear! But the problem is that he's calling for the right of the natives, who are in real shame just to be called Saudis, and real slavery. Well, Saudi agents are put there since establishing Saudi Arabia for a reason, with establishing the so-called Israeli state. Either you are against Saudi House, who took power in the name of Wahhabism and being part of the Bedouin tribal. Don't criticize Saudi House. except the way suitable for us with time. And now, Saudi House are not needed at the time of Jamal Abdel Nasser, Ba'ath parties, Turk Empire, to make us divide and conquer. Now Saudi House is after Saddam Hussein was set as an example on 11 September. It's time to change Saudi Arabia. Mm. Before being able to mention what I am mentioning right now, I mean at the 80s, the 90s, no one is going to listen to me because there is no chance to produce models. There is no chance to bring prostitution. There is no chance to take the committee of ordering people with righteousness and denying them from doing wrong deeds. Everything is in Islamic, especially with a third world community, developed nation. So there's no chance for me. It's a really closed satanically century. It's time now. I tried my best. I wanted to leave Saudi Arabia since 2001, but I couldn't because my family depended on me. This is not a joke. They depended on me. I announced it even in front of my father and my not politically. I said, I have something to say outside. We are dealing with a wrong environment atmosphere here. In Kuwait, I said it in Kuwait, and Allah is my witness. But they didn't understand. What's the problem? She will give you 10,000 Saudi Riyal. We're trying to take a debt. I'm not. الله يلوم ابوي على رده. حقه انا ابنه. غيره ممكن. والخال انا الغيس ما شفت منه الا كل خير من خوال ابوي. The thing is that I am calling for something that the Westies do not want. Something represent my nation. Something explain the truth. It's necessary to say that we are based within the Ismailian nation society from sea to the sea as an Imara and Northwest. We are the real Israelis. And we are dealing with the Goyim and the Holy Land, this filth. So Tariq is not wanted in any way, even if he's calling for Palestine freedom, but at the same time with criticizing Saudi House in a way that is suitable for the West. No, I want Palestine freedom because it's my territory basically. Palestine is not in Japan. It's almost in the Arabian Peninsula, you demon goyim. And things are happening. Things to do with women rights, things to do with women rights, as explained. But I am not treated fair, like Al Saud treating themselves, if not more important than them. They are trash in a way or another. They are descended from illegal immigrant. We are very tolerant with the illegal descended from legal immigrant. All what they need just to adjust and stay in our land. And the Wahhabi school enhanced the equality, which they took advantage of, and then start after proclaiming that they are the native, or without proclaiming, they start calling for what's suitable for them in all the ways that is suitable for the West. There is people who are against Saudi Arabia or Al Qaeda or with Daesh. Of course, they are your enemy. But someone like me, talking about secularism and liberalism and the nation, United Nations chairs, identity of a group of people and religion of a group of people, yet he's not welcomed. That's why the Home Office is working with Saudi House. 3 attempts. I was here since 2015 and 2018. After they brought my sister here, who was raped in Emirate, after they really created a slave slut of her, the daughter of Al Fajir. Of course, Al Windsor won't accept it to their daughters. Now, someone would say, you compare yourself to Windsor. The Windsor are far lower than my dynasty. They are rubbish. Rubbish in comparison to my dynasty. But this is how it is in end times. No, we're not talking about the Windsor because as an alone, the alone, there's other like Rothschild, there is other royal family in Europe because they are elite in the West. They are elite and they are elite of England, the country. So I'm not mentioning them showing this. No, they are above many, but definitely not above the level I am from. Either they like it or not. That's it. But they are above maybe the whole West. No problem. No problem. And others in other nations. No problem. But not me. But this is how Satan works. So fuck Jesus, Satan's son, who have nothing to do with the true Messiah, Isa the son of Virgin Mary. Full stop. Three attempts. The first one was in 2018 after knowing everything. Everyone knows about Tariq refugee and his experience. They gave me the first time the ticket. And they released me based on adult at risk document. Adult at risk? They know what will happen to me if I return back. They arrested me again after making me homeless or rough sleeper for 3 years and a half. And the COVID-19 stopped asylum from reporting. So they said, don't come to report. I came to them. Don't come to report. It's COVID-19. While I'm a rough sleeper, 2 years in a tent and a year and a half night shelter. Other asylum seeker allowing me, a friend, under a bridge. But 2 years in a tent. And 1 year's, maybe 8 years in night shelters, and the remaining of the year and a half in places here and there. 2 years in a tent. 2 years and a half, nothing. No money whatsoever. 1 year, the British Red Cross used to give me 10 every week. Thank you. British Red Cross, so thank you. £10 every week. Good job. For 1 year. Within the 3 years and a half. 2 years and a half, nothing. The street. They arrested me again after they provided me through the NHS an accommodation. They came and they arrested me at the place where I live. They took me to Hathri RC in 2023. I was bailed by a court judge, his honor, George. He said, yes, just promise me to report. You need to have an accommodation. I have an accommodation. They arrested me the third time to Yazwood this year, 2025, August. And I was released by her honor, Judge Sturt. She released me by a bail. And I have an accommodation. Now they're doing what? They're changing the system. If you're arrested, this is not a normal city council accommodation. This is a charity city council accommodation. So, but it's through the city council. So now they are following up to do a change. Once someone is removed, you take his room. You don't keep his room the way they kept it when I was in Heathrow and Yarswood. In 2024, I was released from Heathrow, and the room, I was there for 1 month, 30 to 40 days. So they said, your room is kept for you. When I was in Yarswood, 2025, I stayed there for 3 weeks and a half. When I was released, there was a room, and the support worker confirmed that I have an accommodation. Now they want to change the system. You're removed, the accommodation is gone. And then what? The judge will ask me, do you have accommodation? Well, Home Office say, no, we contacted the City Council. They won't say this. The City Council know that he's removed and they took it. Don't lie, no, it's removed. Hello, so we're sorry. When you are out, maybe we'll help you. No, we can. Yeah, they're planning to do something like this. And then I will follow up with the judge. And in case if the judge found that I cannot be deported because of human rights things for 1 month, 2 months, then he might grant me a bail. And if he grant me a bail without accommodation, I need to follow up with the welfare. Welfare, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Why? Just so that I won't explain. Just so that I wouldn't have access to internet because there is no access to internet. Just to fuck me off even more by the Crown Prince here, Mohammed Bis. But if I was a position from any others who have no right to criticize Saudi House the way they are doing, and calling for what is suitable for them, which only comes at our expense, and definitely suitable for the West. That's why the West is so motivated to mention them. Look at Raif Badawi. They say they're brave. No, he's not brave. You know that there is a back supporting him. Raif Badawi, John al-Hadlul, Namr al-Khashuz, Tariq al-Faqir. No one is going to talk about him in the West. And others, because it's a heritage. I'm dealing with a heritage of illegitimate complaints from the Saudi House. As I explained, listen to my video, listen. So please, and they will convince the court not to bail me. See how racist this West is in UK Home Office, do you see? No, you don't. No, I don't deserve it. No. No. You deserve all bad things because you're the one who's bothering me there. You're the one who's questioning and causing trouble to me there. I want my freedom. And I want my right. Not to mention that I am descended from a dynasty that should be shown respect far better than the Windsor and Saudi House.